Whoops, my camera should have been up a little bit higher. Sorry. What's up, all you cool kids? This is Daisy Collins of TsunamiRose.net, fixing her camera. Coming at you live from my craft room here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this video is going to be showing off all the newest printables in my store, as well as my new mystery boxes that I have in my shop, which are mostly handmade and vintage goodies. In this case, they are they are handmade. Sorry, and oh, you know what? Did I put those in here? Let me make sure. Yeah, okay, cool. I did. Just making sure I have all my printables. So these are the newest printables that I have in my shop. It has been a minute since I made one of these, and since my last video, I've kind of been making new printables pretty much on the daily. These are some journal cards that are in my shop. Let me post the links in the comments. I do have the links posted in the description box below as well. Sweet Drops 45. Hello, how are you? That's the link for the printables. Here's the link for the mystery boxes. Anyway, so these are the new set of journaling cards that I have that feature florals and little birds. So each little journal card has a little set of birds on there. Really pretty vintage flowers. I printed these out on scrapbook paper because I like there to be like a pretty decorative backing to my journal card specifically. So sometimes I'll print it out on scrapbook paper. And then I have a couple sets of printable journal cards. I am good. Sweet Drops 45. Thank you so much for asking. It's a pretty good day today. I'm not outside, so I am thankful. So these are a set of journaling pages. You could also cut them out and use the little ephemera pieces individually if you wanted to. However, they are for journal pages. So you have some really pretty neutral, just vintage images that can fit any sort of journal theme because they are so neutral. I think there's 2 sets here, and each set has 3 pages. That's 3. Here, this should be the last one. Yeah. And then I also have the same set with the same background, muted background, and then lined. So they are 2 sets again of the same pages with lined images. I thought that would be just a good thing because I always like these kind of backgrounds. I always design them for my journals, for my journal kits, and this time I decided I just need some vintage looking background images with lined pages so that I can write on top of, or whoever buys a journal can write on top of. I also designed, these are all upside down. I also designed the same pages. So they have the same background on them. And then they have this one like vintage image that has lined. So that way you can write on it. And I did mute it so you could still see the background images. If you look really, really closely, you can still see all the background images, but you have a nice space to write on. So these are going to be really, really nice to put into journals. I cannot wait. Here's another page, and this one has several just like vintage notepads and lined papers so you can write on top of. This one has a like a ledger page on top of there. Again, same backgrounds, just a fun image on top so that way you can still write on top of it. Here's another ledger image. And then recently I put out a set of, these are vintage gardening images. So that it's an 8-page set. These I printed on cardstock because I like to use these just in my journals as like journaling cards. But they're just really pretty vintage gardening themed images, which are pretty neutral in themselves. I can go into any junk journal theme. They are just vintage images, and most of them are neutral colors, beige and brown and black. I actually didn't, other than fixing the dark and the lightness of the image, I didn't alter them. So these are their original colors. You get 8 pages in this set, and I've already cut them up. And of course, they're all lined with a nice stroke in case you have like a scan and cut and you don't want to cut these out yourself. They would be perfect to be cut out with a scan and cut. So it looks like there's a couple more pages. This one's one of my favorite images. This, I don't even know what this is, like a vintage like watering hose, and it's like watering roses. That's like one of my favorite images right there. Super cute, super vintage, very neutral images, lots of flowers and like gardening tools and such. Little garden man right there. Really cute. I really love using those gardening images, and I'm glad I got them done in a set there. They look super cute. I'm starting to design Christmas printables. This is one of my first Christmas printables that I've released this year. Keep an eye out because I'm going to be working on more. The theme for me is going to be Pink Christmas. So I'm going to have a lot of pink images. Cece, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Okay, so this is the Christmas labels. And so I used, of course, some vintage Christmas images. I cut specific little sections of a lot of things to get these little phrases on here. And this is a 2-page set. So you get over 50 labels, all Christmas themed. And I'm really excited to use these. Okay, and then this is a set that I released today. I left one set in the printer. Let me grab them before I forget. I just printed these out before I went live. Okay, so these I released just today. They are dark floral themed. So these are what it actually prints. 2 pages of 9. So you get 18 total images of these really nice dark floral vintage images. They are such pretty, I think they're paintings. They're really pretty, but they're all really, really dark. So I decided to put them in a set. I also print them out really, really small. Just, these could even be on the back of like a paper clip, just like attached to the page. These would be really cute images to do that. And they're already, I put like an edge color on them, so they're already almost like distressed for you. And just really, really love these dark florals. They didn't really go in any other kit, but I decided to do that with these. And I also made them into jars. So these are my dark floral giant mason jars. Of course, you can always print them out smaller to make smaller mason jars. It's up to you. It depends on what kind of journal you want or what size of journal you're making. So these are, you get 9 giant jars in this set, and they all have gorgeous dark floral images on them, which I just love. So if you're making a dark themed journal, or these would fit any journal, really. I just put them in any journal, but they are specifically dark themed. So those are that. And then these are the labels that I have been playing with on my channel recently. I have made a couple of embellishments using these, and I'm really excited to probably make more. I did the Christmas ones. We'll work on some more of these soon. But these are 2 pages. Again, you get about 50 labels. They're really, really small. Well, they're not small. They're nice, probably 2 inches wide. And they look really cute, printed even smaller, but this is actually a really good size to work with right here. So, again, just vintage numbers, vintage, some vintage advertisements, just vintage text and typography that I liked. And I can't wait to make another set of these. These are fun to do, and they are actually really fun to decorate with. And last of my printables, I have a new crochet-themed line coming out. I have been kind of releasing them piece by piece as I design them. These are going to be vintage crochet. Vintage crochet is very close to my heart. These are postcards. You get 2 pages, 8 vintage postcards. Of course, you can resize them to fit your project. They look really cute, printed small. Crochet is really, really close to my heart. All of my family crochets. Oops, that should have been on here. All of my family crochets, and from my grandma to all of my aunts, my mom, they all love to crochet. These are the large file folders. Of course, you can print them out smaller to fit your project. That one's printed out twice. There is 2 sets, and each set prints out 3 file folders. So I think these are just beautiful. I'm going to continue on with a crochet line. As I come out with it, I will release them. These are the crochet journal pages. There are 3 sets of journal pages, and each set has a couple different variations. There are the plain sets of papers. There are the lined set of papers. So each design also has a set that is lined. So you can have a lot of variation with this crochet set. Here's some of the lined ones. Here's one of the plain ones with no lines. And I just thought that it was a lot of fun to have these images, so I better work with them, and I will continue to do so as the time goes on. So in the background here are images from crochet magazines. So everything is crochet on crochet on crochet themed. I also have some crochet themed journal cards right now. Isn't it beautiful, Cece? Thank you so much. You get 2 pages, a total of 10 journal cards, and of course they feature crochet and these really beautiful roses, which I love so much. So the same roses are being used in the journal cards, as in the paper, as in the file folder. So it's definitely a continuation, definitely a set, a matching set. So you guys will definitely want to grab those now, or whenever it is that I finish the sets. I'm working on them, adding more crochet themed images as I go. So those are all the newest printables in my store, you guys. Let me show you the newest mystery boxes in my shop. These are items that I've made long ago or recently that I have decided to package up and sell because I have way too much of it. So first of all, I have over 20 sets of 2 yards of bed sheet ruffles or pleats, however you want to call them. So they come in a package like this, and you will get a tag that I have, covered in 2 yards of bed sheet pleats and ruffles. They are all different kinds of fabric. Every 6 inches or so, the fabric changes. And so you get this really nice variety of fabrics. And so again, this is 2 yards. So it is quite a lot of work. And so that means, yeah, I made a lot of yards of ruffles. So that is what you get, 2 yards of my handmade ruffles. So there's that. I have quite a few to last me for a little bit. I've also made these pockets. I made these a while ago, and I just put them up for sale. These are cardstock pockets, mini pockets, and they feature really pretty embroidery detail on there. These are cardstock, so they're really nice and strong pockets. They are a different type of scrapbook paper, as well as some that are just plain, and I ink some of the edges. They all have a different edge detail. Of course, they're all different. So these are really cute, and these are mini pockets, so they're really tiny. They're about 3 inches tall by about like 2.5, maybe 3 inches wide. So they're a nice little square pocket, and you get a dozen in this set right here. So each set has a dozen. I'll have to make more, but for right now, I think I have 9 of these sets right here. These are super cute. And then I have a couple of sets of these like glam scraps that I sew together. And I call them glam scraps because a lot of them have foiled images and glitter paper. So they're not exactly, you know, scraps, but they are beautiful. And you can follow along with my videos on how to use these as backgrounds and how to use these to decorate your journals. I make a lot of things out of these scraps, and so now I'm going to put them up in packs. They are in packs of 24, and they feature these really pretty pastel scrapbook papers, glitter papers, and foiled papers, gold foiled papers. So again, you get 24 pieces. They all range in a length from about, what is this, like 3 inches to all the way over 6 inches. Probably 6 inches is the tallest because they do have to fit in these packs. Anyways, I do have a large variety. This is pretty much the colors that you're going to get in these sets. Pretty pastels and just really pretty pastel images. So that's the scrap of paper that I use for these. I have a couple sets of these. Again, you get 24 strips. And lastly, I have a couple sets of these prayer journal embellishments that I have made in the past. I have them set up. I believe these are, you get 24. Hi, Beverly. How are you, girl? You get 24 of these scrap embellishments. They're a scrap piece of paper that I have sewed. It's white thread. I've sewed on these vocabulary words that are actually in my shop. And again, you get 24 pieces. Each one has a different word. You might get a repeat, but each one has its own different word. There's 12 of the scraps that are single piece of paper. And then I also have 12 of the scraps that are double piece of paper. So you can see the colors there are pretty muted, pretty vintage color compared to these scraps right here. I'm just trying to show off the different papers because these are different papers. They're all this like kind of muted pastels, kind of grunged up pastels compared to that other set. I mean, these are a little bit more grungy, more subdued, more pastel. There's some papers that have gold foil. There's really no glitter in these, but there are some really pretty floral images on that scrapbook paper as well. Hi, Miss Gigi, how are you? So that is this evening, or not this evening, this afternoon's live of just showing off what is new in my store. I have a lot of new stuff. If you guys want to check it out, I do appreciate it. All of my printables are $2.50, and all my mystery boxes are also reasonably priced for the amount of work that I put into these embellishments. I just love making them. You guys, I'm still getting the mystery boxes with all the tags in them ready. They're still a work in progress. But I appreciate you guys watching my video. I will be back later on today with the crafting video. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.